Okay, I think I'm live. Am I live? I'm live. Okay. So, hi everybody. Welcome to my channel. I hope I don't get restricted on this video because you can't really see my nipple. Welcome to my channel. I know I don't post a lot on this channel, but I wanted to do a birth story for my little newborn Samuel here. I did a birth story with my last pregnancy, my first son, James. Hey, James, come here.
James, come here.
But I don't think I ever posted it on YouTube, and I wish I would have. I love watching birth stories. Like, I remember his birth story and, like, the whole thing, but I just didn't, like, post it anywhere. And, I don't know, I like watching them, so I thought I'd post one. Come say hi.
Hi, baby.
Say hi to the camera.
Hi, camera.
Say hi. Aw, you're so sweet. Okay. So I'm just going to start my birth story from my last doctor's visit that I had. So my last doctor's visit I was 37 and a half weeks pregnant. And I got checked, and I was a 2. I was a 2 or like 1.5 or a 2, I'm not sure. And I was like 50% effaced. If you don't know what that means I was 1.5 centimeters dilated, meaning like my cervix.
I did go pee-pee.
You're just in your pants though.
He faked it.
He's potty training. Or he's potty trained for the most part, but okay, go clean the loft, guys. Go clean the loft. James, go clean the loft, okay? Anyways, sorry for the noise. They're just wanting to be in here right now. But so I was 1.5 centimeters to 2 centimeters dilated, and my cervix was thinned out 50%. So it wasn't like that big of a progress, but it was progress because that's what I was at my last appointment when I was.
I did go pee-pee.
Good job. When I was 36 weeks.
I did go pee-pee.
So yeah, and then that was on Monday, and then
I did go pee-pee.
on Tuesday.
No, I'm here.
James, can you go in the loft, please?
Come on, let's
Go in the loft. On Tuesday, Tuesday, I was feeling really sick. Like, I thought I had the flu because I was having diarrhea, my stomach was hurting, I was super nauseous, I had headaches, I was so tired, but I didn't have a fever or anything, so I thought, that's weird, so just like, maybe like a flu or whatever. So then Wednesday, I was fine, I was totally fine, I ran errands all day, and then Thursday, I was like super sick too. Oh, geez, are you okay? Thursday, I was really sick too, and that's when I turned. Okay, and that's when I turned 38 weeks pregnant. Was on Thursday, and I was super sick, and I called my doctor, and I was like, "What's going on?" Like, I was never throwing up or anything. And they're like, oh, you probably just have a flu or something. It doesn't sound anything pregnancy related. Because I wasn't having contractions. I wasn't even having the Braxton Hicks contractions that I was having like weeks prior. I was having a lot of them weeks prior. But I wasn't even having those. I was just sick. So like, whatever, I'll just sleep it off. So I slept like all day and all night. And I got woken up so Friday morning. So basically like Thursday night I went to bed and I got woken up at 1 a.m. with diarrhea and just like a weird like diarrhea cramps. And so I went to the bathroom and I just went back to bed, and then I woke up at 6 a.m. with more of those weird cramps but they were coming every 4 minutes, and I was like, oh, these have to be contractions. So my mom lives with me and she's a nurse, and so I woke her up at 6 a.m. and I was like, I think these are contractions. I called my husband because my husband had just left for work. James, be quiet. I'm making a video, okay? Can you go in the loft and make me something? Okay. Go make me something. I love you. I love you. So I called my husband, and I was like, oh my gosh, she just left for work. but I'm having contractions, I think. And he's like, okay, wake your mom up. So I woke my mom up and I was like, I think I'm having contractions. And she's like, all right, like let's go to the hospital. I was like, no, like I don't know if it's really contractions. But they were coming every 4 minutes. It was just weird. It was a weird like diarrhea cramp pain. It was so weird. I can't even describe it. It was kind of like a balloon was inflating and then it would deflate. It was so weird. I had no like stomach hardness. It was all down in my like butt and my like my pelvic area, you know, like period cramps. So anyways, I called my doctor and I told him that they were 4 minutes apart because I was timing them on my Ovia app. I said they were 4 minutes apart, but my water has not broken yet. So he said, well, you should go to labor and delivery and get checked, right? I was like, okay, but I was like, I have time because between my contractions, like I was totally fine. I was picking my toddler up, I was getting him dressed. I even took a bath with him. When they came, like they were pretty painful, like not like super painful, like my last pregnancy because I was induced, but they were pretty painful. And I forgot to mention that I was induced with my last, so I really did not know what to expect. Like, contraction-wise, I have no idea what real contractions feel like, well, until now. But I had no idea what they felt like because mine were induced and they were the most painful thing I've ever experienced the last time around. So this time I did not know what I was getting myself into. So anyways, I took a bath and I was like, all right, Mom, like, let's go to the hospital. I called my husband and said, all right, meet us at the hospital. And I called my mother-in-law to meet us at the hospital so she could take James because my mom was going to stay with me. And so we get to the hospital. And on the way to the hospital, my contractions were so much more painful. It was like, ooh, it was so bad. So I got to the hospital, I got checked, and I was 4 centimeters dilated, and I think 80% effaced. So that was pretty good. I wasn't expecting to go from like 1.5 on Monday to 4, you know. And then so I got to the hospital and they checked me, like, yeah, you're in labor. So they hooked me up to the monitor. I got in my own room and got my IV and everything, and right away I did ask for the fentanyl. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. It's like the pain management medicine that they give you that kind of just takes the edge off. It doesn't really take the pain away, but it takes the edge off. And I got that with my last pregnancy too, so I knew all about it. And I took that, and that was making it so much better. And I got checked. It was like, okay, so I'm not giving you guys times. So I got to the hospital at 9 a.m. and I got into my room around like 9:30, and I got that pain medicine probably around like 10, and then they checked me at like 11, I think, and I was a 6. I was 6 centimeters dilated, and so I asked for more of that pain stuff, and she said, well, we can give you an epidural. Okay, she's like, well, we can give you an epidural. And I was like, I think I got this, like, I think I can do this without an epidural, which I really did think I could do it without an epidural, and this was around like noon. I was still going strong. And then she's like, okay, well, I'll just get I'll get the anesthesiologist so you can talk to him and ask him like time frames, because he had a C-section. So if I didn't get it then, I couldn't get it, like, because he was going to be in the C-section. So I was really doing it, like I was going natural, right? And he came in and he was talking to me, and I was like, I think I can do this. And then a contraction came, and that's when the medicine like wore off. Like the pain medicine was like gone and I couldn't have any more. And a contraction came, and holy crap, I was like, no, give me that epidural. Like, give me that epidural. I want to be comfortable, you know, like the last time. Like I'm one of those people that I would rather be like comfortable giving birth and having it be like such a good experience than like in so much pain, you know. And I know it's all worth it in the end, obviously, but I've just always been an advocate for getting the epidural, because I love that I can like have my baby and I can still push and feel, but it's like comfortable, you know. So I got the epidural, and I was so much happier. And right after I got the epidural, she checked me, and I was at 8.5, I think. I was like at 8.5. So that alone like helped out. Like my whole body was relaxed, and I was dilating, and I was like 90% effaced. And this was around like 1. And then so I was like comfortable for an hour. And then I started feeling like really bad pressure, like worse than my last when I gave birth last time. Like I never felt anything. Like the epidural took everything away. I couldn't even hold my legs up. I couldn't feel anything. And with this epidural, I was so comfortable, but I could feel. Like I knew when I was having a contraction. I felt his head coming down, like everything. And I told her, I was like, there's so much pressure. Like I think he's coming out, right? So she checked me again, and this was at like 2:30, I'd say, and I was fully dilated, just waiting for his head to engage. I was fully dilated, fully effaced, just waiting for his head to engage, meaning like come down, right, like come out. So she like put me in a position where like it would get his head to come to the canal. Are you done? Are you done? Let me just burp him really quick. Are you done, Bubby? Okay. Anyways, I was fully dilated, fully effaced, and this was like at 2:30. So, oh, sorry. And then yeah, so I started feeling more and more pain. I kept hitting, because they give you like a button when you have an epidural, and if you start feeling like too much pain, they give you a button.
Look, I made you.
Wow, that's so cool, Bubby.
It's a lollipop.
Thank you. You made me a lollipop. Thank you, buddy.
No, nobody did like normal.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Go make me something else. Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, I started feeling like so much pain down there, and I was like, oh my god, like, is his head? I kept having her check me like every 10 minutes, and she's like, you know, like this runs risk of infection and everything. But my water still hadn't broken at this point, FYI. And then so she checked me, and she's like, no, like his head's not there. And she's like, you could just be feeling, you know, because you will still feel pressure with an epidural. And I was like, yeah, I know, you know, but it was just like crazy pressure. And then so the time came, and she's like, okay, I'm going to call your doctor since you're fully dilated. This was at like still like 2:45. And she's like, I'm gonna call your doctor to come. And so basically I was just sitting there waiting to push. My water still hadn't broken or anything, but I could feel everything, guys, like through this epidural. I don't know if this epidural was just like he gave me a low dose, because he said he only gave me like 14, and I'm not sure what that means, but maybe it was like a low dose, but I felt everything. And then my doctor finally got there at like 3:20 or something. 3:15, maybe he got there at 3:15, put his thing on, and I requested a mirror, because I wanted to see. So my doctor got there, they put the mirror, they got everything ready, and he's like, okay, are you ready to push? And so I put my legs up myself. I was holding my legs, like I could feel, like when I tell you I could feel everything, I could feel everything. Obviously it probably wasn't as bad as like natural labor, but this was like, it took the edge off, but I felt everything. So he told me to start pushing at 3:20, I think it was. It's in my husband's phone when, because he texted his mom, all right, push time. So I started pushing. The first there was 2 pushes I did that were like super weak. Like I wasn't pushing that hard, because if I'm being honest, I was afraid I was gonna poop, which like most people do during birth. Obviously I did, but I was afraid that I was gonna poop, so I wasn't pushing that hard. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, before I started pushing, he broke my water. I felt that too. So weird. And then he's like, okay, start pushing. So I started pushing, and the first 2 pushes, I only pushed for like 5 seconds. He's like, no, you gotta give me more than that, right? And I was like so nervous, right? But then he's like, okay, like if you just give me like good, like 2 good pushes, he's out. And I was like, are you serious? Like, okay. And then I like I bared down, and I pushed really hard, and his head was right there, like I could see, and that motivated me. And then he was like, all right, 1 more good push, and he's out. and then I pushed really hard, and his head was like all the way out. And then he was like, okay, like just help me get him out. And then I think it was like one more push. Like it took 3 good pushes for him to be all the way out. And he was, and I saw it, and it was amazing. And then he came out. It was 3/24 that he was born. He was 7 pounds 15 ounces. So he was just 1 ounce away from 8 pounds, which is crazy. He was 20 inches long, so he's a big baby, and he was 2 weeks early. So he was a big baby. And then he laid right on, at my hospital that I give birth at, they lay him like right on me. They didn't take him away at all until I had like that skin to skin moment, which I think every hospital does. Oh, it was so amazing. And then it was funny because he came out like what is it called when they do that? Rooting. Like he came out like rooting for my nipple or something to eat, and I was like, can I feed him? And I fed him like right after I had him. Like I was getting stitched up, and I fed him. It was amazing. He latched on like right away. And then so like me wise, postpartum wise, tearing wise, I did have a 2nd degree tear. My first pregnancy I did, and my doctor said I basically just tore where I did my last pregnancy, except for this time I didn't tear on my like labia, because last time I tore on my labia it was really painful. This time I didn't, thank God. I just tore like in my actual vagina hole. It was only a 2nd degree tear. It wasn't that bad. It was only a few stitches, but I did feel him stitching me. Oh my God. It hurt so bad. Like I felt it also because the epidural was like wearing off, because it starts going off like. Anyways, I felt, someone's home, now I gotta go. But I felt everything. It was a crazy experience.
We made little snowmans, because this
Oh, how
is
cute.
a little scarf.
How cute.
James thought of a lollipop.
Okay, you wanna say bye with me? I'm pretty much done with my story. This is Samuel. Say bye, Samuel. Say bye, James. You wanna say bye? I'm pretty much done with my video. Say
Can I
bye.
eat yours?
Sure. Say bye. I'll make a separate like postpartum video.
He's not get me shopping.
She did though. Go get it from her. Say give it to me to give to mommy.
You're not get me shopping.
Okay, I'll go investigate. Say bye though. Thank you guys for watching this live video, if anyone did. And I will be uploading a postpartum video and a 4-week-old month update. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.